Yeah, can you guys hear me good?
Yup,
Yes,
yup,
sir.
yup. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Anime Association. And on this episode, I am unprepared, but my name is Kyle Tim, and I am joined with and I am joined with G and Shin. How y'all doing today, fellas?
Good, my man's good, good, good. Ready to talk some anime.
All right, all right. So I came up with these topics literally 5 o'clock in the morning in the gym. Is when I came up right? Because I was like, I got to do something. But there was something that was posted that Shin had sent to us. It was a reel from Trapped in Anime, and it was somebody that was saying something like, "You can't have an anime opinion unless you've watched 500 series." And my thing is, how do you, since you brought it up, Shin, how do you feel about that type of thing? About that, like, is that kind of gatekeeping? Does that even make sense to say something like that?
So, I'm at least my understanding of the little thing. I think he said it just to angry people because I think a lot of people whenever they be on the trapped in anime thing, they're really just saying stuff just to say stuff. I honestly do feel like that's what the trapped in anime people like encourage people to do. Anyway, but like what I don't see it as an opinion because like anybody can have an opinion, but like when it comes down to like people who are trying to review or like being like an anime critic, I think that sounds about right. Like if you got like 500 movies under your belt or something like that, or what's the saying? There's a saying like if you practice something like
Oh, 10,000 hours, you're a
yeah,
master of it.
yeah. You're a
Yeah.
master at it. So like, I mean, the concept of it does make sense. Like, I mean, but 500 anime, that's a lot, man.
Well,
That's a
yeah,
lot of anime.
I mean, obviously, I look at it kind of like how you were, like it's just an exaggeration type of thing, right? But it's also at the same time, I feel like a story is a story. Like, yeah, Western stories are told differently than Eastern stories and everything. But let's say I've only watched 15 anime, but I've read 500 books. So can I not have an opinion on a story? Like, because that's really anime is just the medium of the story. So I feel like that's it's just like a gatekeep type of thing. Like, oh, you not you new to it, you ain't true to it, right? Like one of them type of things. But a story is a story.
I don't think it's gatekeeping per se. I can understand and I see where you're coming from on that, but I don't think it's gatekeeping, like something like that. Like that, like gatekeeping is like keeping people from you ain't a fan until you watch this
This and that and
series
this, yeah.
and this and that series. That's kind of like gatekeeping right there. Like you ain't no real you're a tourist. You're an anime tourist because you watch A, B, and C show or everything like that. Like I think if the moment you jump into anime, you can watch one anime, you're still a fan. You become a fan, especially if you finished said series or finished said show or manga or even video game on
Yeah.
that matter. Like
I guess
you
it's more
become a
like
fan.
elitist, right? I guess it's more of an elitist type
Yeah,
of view
yeah,
than
yeah, yeah, yeah,
gatekeeping,
yeah.
right? It's like, oh, you you haven't watched 500 of the shittiest animes. You can't tell me what's good, right? Like,
Yeah.
is one of them type of things. What about you, G?
I think to be fair, I think for me, it's you don't have to have watched 500 animes to have an opinion, but I do feel like you need to have watched more than just shonen. For example, like you know, if you've I feel like if you've watched a different variety of genres of anime, whether it's 10 or 20 anime but of different variation, I feel like you you're worth, you are allowed to have, an opinion based on that, because you've not just secluded yourself into one genre. You've actually taken the opportunity to venture out and watch different types of anime for you to come to a conclusion about whether you think certain anime is a bit better than others at that point, instead of you just watching shonen and saying shonen is better than every other thing, but you've never watched anything out of that genre. If am I making any sense in terms of what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're making sense. Yeah, I mean,
because you don't have to.
because then
You don't have to. Yeah, go on.
like if that's like the only bit of storytelling that you have, then yeah, because we have like genres for a reason, right? So it's like, oh, if you only watch battle fantasy genre, then of course, it would be something different if you start jumping across genres. Like you're like, hey, One Piece is better than Nichijou, right? Those are two totally different type of series. So it's like,
Watch
can
your
you
mouth.
even speak on those? You know what I'm saying?
Watch your mouth.
Yeah.
Watch your mouth.
But I mean, by having watched multiple different genres, you can then construct a more, a more structured response as to why you don't like certain things. Because Shin could say, I like this type of anime better than that because this anime does this, whereas this done that. But then if you just watch one singular genre and you then just say, this is the best because this and that, but you've got nothing to base it against the other stuff. It's not really a respected opinion. That's what I'm saying.
So
It's
what
like
you
I feel like
say
you
is
need to have a
more.
diverse portfolio in your anime. For you, I feel like you need to have a diverse portfolio to have a respected opinion. So that could be either if you've watched 10 different animes, then that's you can have an opinion. I think you can have a respected opinion on that. But if you've watched 500 of one type of genre, does that mean you have a respected opinion if you don't know about the other genres? Does that
So it's
I feel
really
like
about how
Yeah,
strong
I
somebody's
feel
opinion is, like how broad their opinion is,
yeah,
type of thing.
where G's coming from. Yeah, I understand where G coming from because like he's like if you only watch one like action adventure is your jam and you only stick in actual adventure, you have no right to talk about like romance, a romance anime or something like that because like you could be like, yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen is better than my dress up darling, but you've never seen my darling dress up.
Yeah.
Only thing you eat, sleep, and breathe is shonen. That's all you know. That's all you know. You
Yeah.
all like. I get where he's coming from on that front.
Yeah, or like if somebody watches like one romance and like this is the greatest romance ever, but you've only watched one romance,
One romance, yeah.
right?
was it.
Yeah, I think when you start going that deep with it, then yeah, fan service has a place in the community.
That's a whole different. That's a whole different topic, my guy.
It is, but that's been a conversation that came up on the Trapped Anime too. But as we're talking about, just opinions and stuff, I think there's popular series that a lot of us haven't seen that sometimes when it gets brought up, we kind of just like gloss over the situation, be like, yeah, like kind of, and I got two big series, right?
I feel like that's like targeted towards me. Goddamn.
No, I mean it's me too because look, there's two series that y'all bring up, and I just sit there and I'll say like, oh yeah, man, I haven't watched that since 2000.
Well, I haven't
seen that shit at all.
Well, I haven't. I only watched the first two episodes, and I never finished it. Yeah.
Inuyasha and Samurai Champloo. I've never actually like seen those.
I'll give you.
I thought you were gonna say Bleach.
I mean, I've only watched one thing of Bleach, but I mean, if you watch the channel, I shit on Clorox all the time, so it's not really like.
I swear you only watched like one or two episodes of Kamen Rider.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but that's not like being like a brush it off type of thing, right?
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Like because like Inuyasha and Samurai.
Oh, you haven't seen Inuyasha?
Nah.
Okay, I'm not surprised about that. That is a soap opera. You haven't seen Samurai Champloo?
That one I can't. That's
Look,
sacrilegious.
How
Look,
could
Like,
you like
whenever
that
y'all
more
bring
than
it up,
Cowboy Bebop? I thought
Look.
you would like that more than Cowboy Bebop.
look, whenever y'all bring it up, right, and talking about swords and shit, I'll be like, yeah, nah, I don't really remember his shit, man. I ain't seen that shit in a while, man. But I
You know
really
what, yeah.
haven't seen that shit.
I'm clipping
Dang.
that shit. I'm clipping this shit.
Wow.
Because this is atrocious. This is atrocious behavior. Like
That's-
I can forgive you for Inuyasha because I watched that shit and that shit boring as a bitch.
Hey, you watch your mouth. You watch your mouth.
Like,
You don't know what a good soap opera is.
Hey, look, because what was it?
Samurai Champloo, I can't forgive you.
Nah,
I probably agree with you on the sequel, the one with the kids. With was it Yashishime or Yashihime?
But the Inuyasha sequel, John.
Yeah, the sequel one. About their kids. It's
yeah, I know what you're
Shishomaru's
talking
kids, Inuyasha kid. That one maybe not all that great, but the original Inuyasha is the best.
Yeah, nah, I've never actually like seen that, but it's just funny because every time it come up now y'all gonna be on the lookout when I'm like, yeah, I haven't seen that one in like 20 years. Y'all gonna be like, nah, you ain't never seen that shit.
Yeah, guys revealed his game plan at any time. So I haven't seen that
I
for
mean,
a while. Like, you
because
ain't
like
seen
my
that shit at
cousins
all.
used to watch like Inuyasha and shit, but I never actually like sat
That's
down
crazy.
and watched it with them. So
I would put Inuyasha down as like one of those gateway anime. In all honesty,
yeah, I think it's because what Toonami or Adult Swim.
yeah,
just
because
show
it
all the
is.
time.
Yeah.
It's just nah. When I woke up, I heard
boring.
you know how people
That's
would
what
wake
it
up
is.
to like the intro, the outro of it. I woke up to the
Man,
all my days in a low rider. Dun, 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 dun. That was my shit waking up at 2:00 in the morning.
man, no, man, it's not, man. Those Shomaru Inuyasha fights, man, and then when they fought together, that's not boring. And then you got Koga of the Wind. Come on, G. Come on, that love triangle.
Nah, bro. The way she was treating my boy, like with the what was that thing with the spell that she
Sit-
had, which she
yeah,
just
sit,
controlled
boy.
it. That shit was pissing me off, bro. I was like, my man can't be great. I was like, my man can't be great. And I was just like, ugh.
And then somebody
Yeah, I
had
haven't
to
seen
roll
that shit
in.
in so long. I can't even speak on that shit, bro.
Nah.
G talking about it like I be talking about Bebop, man. That's how G talking.
And I think I'm in this stage of my anime watching now where I'm just like, I roll my eyes and I was like, oh, my man's downhills because of a woman. Fuck. That's what I was like. Oh, I was like, of course it involves a woman. Like that. I just knew it. So I was like,
Have you seen
Christ.
any of the movies, G?
No, for the Inuyasha, no.
Yeah. I think you like the movies. Like, there's 4 of them. Like, just watch all 4. You be good.
Okay.
The 4th one is my favorite, but like, out of the 4, I think you watch all 4, and I think you at least like, because like the first 2 are kind of like a redux of the series, and then the second, the 2 after that, 3 and 4, are kind of after the series.
Yeah.
They're kind of like their own thing, and like I think if you watch the movies, I think you could just be like, yeah, cool. Inuyasha is good. The series, I can understand, especially if somebody who don't like soap operas, because that's what Inuyasha is. Inuyasha is a anime soap opera. That's basically what it is.
It is a soap opera, bro.
Hey, look, man, I grew up watching soap operas with my grandma, so I might have to watch that shit, man.
I think
General Hospital was my shit.
And that's like one of the originals isekais, man.
Yeah. I know I need to go. I know I need to watch it, but I don't know. It's just one of them shits I ain't never watched. Holy Gear 5 Goku G, this scar on your heart from strong female leads.
Oh man, listen, bro. Like, no, I'd be dying, bro. I think, to be fair, in Inuyasha, I think the only girl I actually liked was that ninja, the one in the first couple of episodes, the one with the
Sango.
Yeah, then
she's part of the crew. Yeah, with Moroku. I always feeling on my booty, Moroku.
But look, G, what about you, man? What's a series that you're kind of embarrassed about not seeing that everybody be talking about, man?
Well,
What
that's what
you
I'm
got,
saying.
man?
No, no, I wouldn't say they're talking about it, but funny enough, before you even sent me your questions, I was actually watching that series. I actually started that series yesterday, and I finished it. And I finished it today, and it is Kakagiri. Like I I watched the first 2 episodes like years back, and I was like, nah, this. I was like, her gambling excitement is a bit weird. I was like, crikey. I was like, she fucking like doing some weird shit on that shit. I was like, I need to part this one. I was like, I don't know if this is for me. So yesterday I was like, oh, I'm looking for something to watch, and I was like, oh yeah, fuck, I remember I had this on there, and I watched it, and I was like, oh, okay, and I finished it. I was like, I was like, yeah. I was like, I see why I didn't watch it, but now that I've watched it.
Hey, I thought he was about to say something like, yeah, man, that was the greatest watch ever.
No.
There and be like,
I
nah,
don't know.
it was
I was like,
garbage.
no. At the end, I was like, yeah, I see why I didn't watch it, but I'm a little bit more invested. I need to see what happens in season 2 now, because that the gambling girl was like,
So you're more embarrassed that you liked the series without liking it. That's what you're more embarrassed about. It's not the fact that you ain't see it. It's one of them ones where you're like, yeah, I like how you do it. Huh? Say that.
yeah,
Again, bro?
like,
Yeah, I like how
yeah. I was like,
Are you gonna
yeah,
watch
I
the
was
other
like,
series, the spinoff, the one about the blonde hair chick?
no, I'm about to after I think after we finish, I might watch an episode or two before I go to bed.
There's also 2 live action series of that one too.
Well, I think we need to relax. We need to relax on that. We need to relax.
I don't know. You might well go in full force.
There is one, and I think they're doing it again, but they're calling it something.
Yeah,
else,
it's the American version of the series. Netflix. It's on Netflix.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you give yours right quick, Shin. But the one series I've been watching lately that I haven't told anybody because it's the same feeling of like I'm kind of embarrassed that I like this, but it's an isekai where like the MC's stuck in a dating sim, right? He dies and gets transferred. I forget what it's called. It's like
there's like 82 of those, man.
Yeah, I know, but I'm actually watching and I'm like,
is it the villainess one? Is it one of the villainesses one?
No, I did just watch one of those. The reborn as a villain and like she was the final boss, reborn as the final boss or something. I watched that one.
I know there's one recently that was a father who died and he got transported into his favorite into his daughter's favorite game. Yeah.
I've seen that one. That one was kind of funny. My dad got reincarnated as the boss's accountant.
Yeah, that's a whole nother genre in itself now too, with the getting put in the romance video game things and becoming the villainesses. That's like a slow. That's just like a slow creeping up genre itself.
It is though. It's and they're decent. Like they're decent. I'm not going to sit there and be like, yeah, man, these shits is the greatest things ever. But they're decent. They're like, you can put on and watch at nighttime type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of them type of shit. Yeah. Like I'm about to go to bed. Let me watch two episodes of something that if I fall asleep during watching it, I'm not gonna be upset. Like one of them type of shits, man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Shin, what's an anime you're embarrassed that you haven't seen yet?
Oh well.
Embarrassed isn't even in your vocabulary, but
as y'all know, I am Shin, and I don't care.
Striker,
I don't get embarrassed.
I
see more of the isekai than I've seen. Yeah, you're probably not wrong, man. I think all of us see. I don't get embarrassed. I don't get embarrassed. There's nothing serious that I'm embarrassed. Like I've said plenty of times, where y'all been talking about like some of the most popular stuff, like Yu Yu Hakusho. I ain't seen that yet. I know about it, but I ain't seen it. Am I embarrassed? Nope. Don't care. Well, I ain't seen One Piece with magic.
The magical girl.
Hey man, magical girl, man, you have no idea about magical girls, man. My God, magical girls are the truth. some of the best anime, like Sailor Moon.
Well, I don't. Yeah, Sailor Jupiter. Talk to me.
There's been a real big resurgence lately on at least threads of people talking about Sailor Moon, and it's all because of Goku versus Usagi. I swear to you, now all of a
Well,
sudden
was that like a
everybody's a
death
Sailor
battle or
Moon
something?
fan. You
Was
said
that like
what?
a death? Was that a death battle or something?
No, no, it's just
Oh,
randomly. It's just one of those conversations that people just been bringing up just
wow.
randomly, and now everybody's like, "Yeah, Sailor Moon's the greatest thing ever." You didn't say this last month. What are
Well,
we talking about?
Sailor Moon would drop Goku, but like
All right, let's
that's
chill
not
out,
over
man.
here. We're not
If
here. We're
Goku
not here for
loses, he
that.
wins.
Anyway, Goku.
Hey, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Anyway, but like I'm not. I mean, there's nothing that I really care. I mean, there's stuff that are on the list that but like they're like deep down on the list. Like there's a lot of unpopular stuff. Like what is Gachakuchi? That's on the list. I hear people talking about that. But like there's some series that like, for instance, JJK. I ain't seen JJK since season 1. And I know we're in 3rd season. But do I know the story?
2 episodes of JJ.
But do I know the story of JJK? Yeah, because I read the manga. I even read the second manga, the sequel manga. That's the other thing too with me. When people are talking about, because we always talk about specifically anime. When people are talking about anime, like the important series, like One Piece for something like that, I ain't seen One Piece since Water 7. When Lucci got when Lucci got snowed out of his win, I was done. But
that
I
was
read
an ass pull last win for Luffy right there. That was
I read One Piece. I'm caught up with One Piece and all that junk. Manga wise, Yu Yu Hakusho. I've read Yu Yu Hakusho. I've read all the way up to the point where he turned into the Demon King thing, and I was like, okay, this is stupid. So
You watch your
But-
mouth. You watch your mouth.
No, see, it was stupid. It was dumb. That whole last arc of Yu Yu Hakusho is just dumb as shit, bro. Like Kurama's whole progression as a character just got thrown out the fucking window. It was dumb.
I
was
mean,
dumb.
I read more stuff that I don't watch, but at least nowadays, like back in the day, yeah, I used to watch a lot of stuff. I was specifically anime watcher, but like now, growing up and stuff like that, in my time of life now, like I'm like more reading stuff, because like if I get pulled into a series and I find out this is an adaptation of something, I'm going to go find the source material and continue on. And then I tend to, for like My Hero. I ain't seen My Hero since their season 1. Season 1 was the festival, wasn't it? The first tournament arc thing. That's when Deku beat or lost to Icy Hot guy. I ain't seen it. Yeah, I ain't seen it then. But like, I know about.
I think that's a totally different type of thing, though, right? Because we talk about anime a lot because that's how we kind of consume the story, right? Now there are times where the adaptation strays far away from the source material, right? But for the most part, if you've read something, you can talk about it, right? Like you can jump into the Yu Yu Hakusho conversation because you've read it, right? It's the same story. There might be some things left out or anime only stuff, but for the most part, it follows the same draft line, right? So I think that's something, even though we talk about anime, we're talking about really more so the story of it. So really what I want to know is there a popular story that you haven't consumed? I'm going to say consumed, whether it's watched or read or anything like that. Or you usually like caught up to what the culture is saying, like this is popping.
Word to the streets.
He said LJ's punching the air listening to you.
I mean, he don't read, so I mean, there's that. Reading his worst enemy. I don't. I was gonna say which Alateria, but I started reading that and I'm like, I don't know,
That
like
shit's
100 chapters.
beautiful.
I'm like 100 chapters in already,
Oh,
man.
you're farther than me. I'm on like chapter 30.
I'm like 100 chapters in. Man.
Is it good?
I watched the first episode of this. I was like, "Yep, going to have to find this one." I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The manga's
Of like
more beautiful than the anime, honestly.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, are you talking about like mainstream?
Well, yeah, because I think when you're talking about like, are you embarrassed you haven't seen it? It's something that like most people have seen and talking about.
I'll probably
right?
say, well, I don't even know if people talk about this. Daughter Horo, you know
Some
about?
people, yeah, it gets talked about a little bit now that it's back out. People are talking about it a little bit more.
Yeah, I know that recently got that second season. I haven't read that or seen it.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I'm embarrassed, but like it is one of those things that's on the docket. But I guess that's one of those things.
I don't know why I do this, but I'm always eating when I watch that shit, and I need to stop doing that, man. It is not the series to be watching while you're eating.
Or Trigun.
Huh?
But you never read or watched Trigun?
Well, I've seen the original Trigun, the original anime.
the new
But I'm talking
one,
about the
though?
new one.
The Stargaze.
Yeah. Trigun. Does that count? Because that technically is a
I mean, if you were talking about like I haven't seen Stampede or anything like that, I'd be like, yeah, that would count. But I think I guess like Gachi Akuda maybe because I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I haven't
it.
seen the what's the one with the big breasted anime women in it? With the blood. Yeah, that one. I ain't seen that one. I don't know nothing about that.
You are not missing, and that shit is ass. Doo-doo Anki is what it's called. That shit is ass, bro. I dropped it on the second episode, bro. That shit was trash.
But it has
I haven't seen the
things that I like.
Yeah,
I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm embarrassed, but as a giant robot lover, I haven't seen, and I kind of don't want to see it. That's at the same time because I don't like how they did the mech. But I haven't seen Gundam Juquaks, whatever it's called.
Oh, you haven't
the
seen
most recent?
No. You haven't seen that one? That shit was pretty dope. I'm not going to lie.
I haven't seen that one. I'm a big Gundam fan. I love my giant robots and stuff like that. Yeah. And I haven't seen that. But it's just, when I look at that, I guess this would come into like that gatekeepy or elitist conversation we had beforehand. Like, when I look at that, what's that? The big breath
man of vision.
When I look at that doesn't look like Gundam to me. Like really? That. No, that's not Gundam. That's not. As the old man
I guess
said,
if you're comparing,
that's not like my Gundam. That's not my Gundam.
See, when I was watching it, I felt like they did a good job kind of integrating like the 90s Gundam, right, style to it. That's how I felt when watching it. Now, especially with so much CG it had, right? But yeah. I think they did. I think they did a really decent
like
job.
The one before that, Iron Witch, that shit was that's like in my top 5 right now of Gundam series. That is a really good.
Char. But it has Char.
Char's in it?
Yeah. Not really.
Like
he's
legit
really
Char. Legitimate Char.
Yeah,
Char is in it?
Char's like in the last episode or 2 or something like that. But yeah, because the red Gundam is his Gundam.
Oh. The red Gundam will forever be heavy arms. That's it. Anyways.
But like I haven't seen that one. I probably would say that too. But like it's like one of those things I refuse to watch it because it's like one of those things like our friends Daima. I ain't seen Daima. I don't care about seeing Daima because it doesn't. That doesn't look. That don't look Dragon Ball.
I can't really kick him off because he's got admin permissions. So
it don't look Dragon Ball to me. Like it's for when I'm knee deep in a series or I've been with a series for so long, and then when I get something like G-Quarks, that looks more anime than Gundam does.
Yeah,
like if you understand what I
think because they made that to be a series to bring in a new generation of people. Same thing with Daima. That's what Daima was pretty much for, like to bring in my son into Dragon Ball and anime. That's what Daima was for.
Oh, and then I ain't seen the remake of Samurai Warriors or Ronin Warriors.
The one that just came out.
Yeah, I ain't seen that, and I really don't want
So
to see that.
so what about a series that you've seen that you kind of like would kind of utter under your breath if somebody was like, "Yo, what's an underrated?" And then you just like be like, "Yeah."
Oh no, I never. I mean, you met me. I ain't gonna utter anything on my breath.
This is the Anime Association or Shin and his 5 friends. You ain't watch Daima. Hey, Striker, you aren't the biggest dragon. With me and G up here, you're not the biggest dragon. Even Shin,
Shin's probably a bigger
I
stan
wouldn't
than
say
I
I'm a
am.
stan.
hey, look, he's got
We
some
get to-
Jeopardy questions he'll ask you that you didn't even know existed. Okay,
Questions that Toriyama doesn't even know the answers himself.
When we get to question number 4, one of these questions, I don't know. It might take away my Dragon Ball fan privileges. When we get to
well,
that,
shit, we might as well jump into that. If you're talking about fandoms, I know that's the one you're talking about, isn't it? Who
our
has
fandoms are getting worse.
Yeah. Do you think fandoms are getting worse, or do you think it's like there's other fandoms?
I do
that
think
are
fandoms
jumping
are
up?
getting worse, and that's the thing. That's one of those things where I do think fandoms are getting worse, but it's like certain fandoms are getting worse, and then some are getting.
Am I frozen?
No, I think he's just glitched
Oh.
out.
I thought I froze. you froze for a second, shit.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I mean, it went all black on my end too. You know, before One Piece blew up, got like world renowned fame and everything like that.
Yeah.
The One Piece fandom were the nicest people ever.
They were.
And then you had other fandoms that were the most toxic, like Dragon Ball fans. The Dragon Ball fans. Yeah. If a fandom could turn you off an anime,
the Lord and Time Warner took him out.
if a fandom can turn you off an anime, it would be the Dragon Ball fandom. Like I fucking despise the Dragon Ball fandom. I don't gonna lie, man.
I second that though. I do think the Dragon Ball fandom is.
They are the most gatekeepy people ever, but like it's reversed now. The Dragon Ball fandom ain't as bad as they used to be. Now the One Piece fandom.
No, they're still the Dragon Ball fandom is still bad.
Oh,
it's just One Piece has amped it. If you critique One Piece at all, the first thing they'll say is, "My fault. You got a shitty attention span," and you're like, "Bro, I've watched all 15,000 episodes." Bro, what are you talking about? Like,
well, let's just add a little bit of context to that, because what I've realized knowing Tim for as long as I've done now is Tim has a way of bringing the worst out of people with some of his comments. So the way he structures his comments bring out the worst in people. And the thing is,
I don't be saying no crazy shit. And then the next thing I know, they be like, "Yo, this bald motherfucker don't know what he's talking about." And I'm like, "Yo, what the?"
Yeah. No. And the thing is, and the worst part about it is when you argue with Tim, he just writes back and says, "Yeah, you're arguing by yourself," and it just infuriates them even more. Like they just get even more mad.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So,
I do think some fandoms are getting worse. Because I mean, like MHA had a pretty shitty fandom.
He said, "Yes, G. Tim. Middle name is Rage Bader."
Kyle Rage Bader Tim.
Kyle Rage Bader.
That's exactly times 10. Rage Bader times 10.
Dang.
Oh shit! But I mean, like, because MHA had a crazy fandom when it was out, especially like. But theirs was more like shipping, right? Like I feel like
it's
MHA, had a crazy shipping fandom.
Yeah.
One Piece has like this crazy like complex of like if I like it, I need to be drinking tea with my pinky up type shit. Like I'm fancy because I like this shit. And then Dragon Ball
I
is
do that.
literally just we know, but Dragon Ball is literally just
Is
like who
mainly
punches the
power.
hardest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dragon Ball is the power scaler, people and all that stuff. And then there's those people who will put Goku on this pedestal, think he can beat everybody and their mama,
yeah.
which is just not right, not true in
I
the
just feed
slightest.
into it because it's fun to feed into it. But I know Goku isn't beating fucking like Rimuru and shit like that. Like that's insane, man.
Sailor Moon as well.
I think fan bases
Well,
get less weird as they get older. I don't see much weird Naruto and Sasuke. No, and that
yeah,
was going
yeah.
to be the
And when they're
next thing.
done, yeah, when they're done, when the series is done, the fan bases is probably what Strike Man said. Like they get less weird, and you don't see as much as it is as much. Like the bigger things right now is like the JJK, the Chainsaw Man, um, uh, Demon Slayer. Like those fandoms are the ones that are like
I
hyped up.
think
Even the
those
One
two
Piece fans.
fandoms are getting kind of crazy a little bit. Like Demon Slayer and JJK are kind of. I JJK's most annoying trait is like Gojo. They think every white haired character is Gojo, right? Like that's what they always link it back to, like Gojo. I've seen people like fandom being like, yeah, Killua is a Gojo knockoff. Bro, Killua came out 20 years before JJK was a thing. What are we talking about? But
Ain't Keela a little kid?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like Witch at Atelier, they're trying to say Keyfree is a Gojo. And it's like, first of
No,
all,
which
Keyfree came out beforehand,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and
That was way
Keyfree is
before.
better than Gojo. Like, I haven't seen too much JJK, but Keyfree, my dog, from what I've seen right now, unless he changes up at some point in time. But I'm not knee deep into it like I was a few years ago.
I mean, if anything, Gojo is a Kakashi clone, but we don't want to have that discussion. I mean, but like I said, the fandom, like I said, fandoms can get so bad where it like pushes people. I feel like it pushes people away from the show or whatever you're trying to
Yep.
be a fan of. Like for instance, this might not be anime, but I've never really jumped into the fandom or jumped into the show, even though I've heard a lot of good things about it. And it's all basically like set up as an anime. Steven Universe.
Oh, oh,
That
I haven't seen
fandom of
that neither.
Steven Universe, the way that fandom is, it pushes me away from jumping into the show. Or stuff like that. And then there's some fandoms where I'm like, I'm ashamed to be considered a fan. Like Dragon Ball fans, I was ashamed to be a Dragon Ball fan at one point. But especially how they get. Oh my god, I fucking hate the Dragon Ball community.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
like,
no,
there's
no, because
other
but you're
fandoms
you're
that are
right
great.
though, because there
There's
was a
other
point in
fandoms that's great. Like
because there was a
One Piece
point
with
in
Magic.
time where I felt like that with Dragon Ball, where it was kind of like before I really got into like making content and shit, it would be like I would have to kind of give like a disclaimer first type shit because yo, it was bad on both sides, bro. Like if you at one point in time, if you said, yo, I like Goku as a character, bro, get ready to get called every name in the book, bro.
But yeah. And it's even worse. And it's even worse because of like not not necessarily the communities themselves, but like the YouTubers that
Yeah.
could like focus on like one thing. Like for instance, the Dragon Ball YouTubers. There's some Dragon Ball YouTubers are insufferable.
We ain't
I'm
bad,
not
G.
talking
We
about.
we aren't
I'm talking
bad.
about
We aren't
you.
bad.
But like, there's some of them are like insufferable where their word is law, or they'll be like, that's misinformation and stuff like that, which is not,
Oh yeah.
or stuff like that,
Or
or
they'll be like, see, if you look at this is 6 pixels high, and if you see how fast they move, they are moving 10 times
yeah.
faster than the speed of light. And you're like, bro,
But
what?
but at a time there was One Piece YouTubers that, man, they were great. They were great. Like they would welcome people in and everything like that, and tell you what's going on and stuff like that. But like nowadays, like there's so many like anime YouTubers like on one specific like anime that be popping up out of nowhere, and they be
Mm,
getting so big, and then they're making their word is law type things.
yeah.
Like there's some Hunter x Hunter YouTubers. I'm just like, oh my god, I hate this junk.
I
And
didn't
I
even
ain't
know
even
that was
seen Hunter x Hunter.
I didn't
I
even
Yeah.
didn't
know that
see
was
it.
a thing. I knew
To
there
be
was
fair,
one guy that I watched that does like Hunter x Hunter and One Piece. But like the crazy thing is the YouTubers, at least on One Piece, seem more welcoming than the actual fan base as a
Fan base, yeah,
whole, right?
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
because I think it's because anime is more accessible now that you get people just wanting to have strong opinions about everything, right? Or like
Mhm.
just ride the wave of something. But you were about to say something, G?
No, no, I was just saying it's just literally gets to the point now where some of these fandoms they talk about the series as if they know more than the creator. Like basically they say, what was
Yeah.
he doing? How why would he do this? This doesn't make sense. He doesn't know what he's doing. And you're thinking, what? But I hope you're acting as if you were in the writing room when he was actually storyboarding this. Well, why wouldn't he do this? Why wouldn't he do that? He clearly does it. He clearly needs help because he's confused. He doesn't even know his own series. What do you mean he doesn't know his own series?
Yo, as many times as I've heard that, like I remember I said something. I forget what story it was, but I was like, "Yo, the story told us this." Yeah, but you and the author of it are wrong.
yeah.
What?
How's the author wrong? Like
The
that's
author
the
is
thing that
wrong.
be killing me, man.
The author is wrong. Yes.
So it's like the actual anime fandom of anime itself has gotten worse.
Yeah, yeah.
Type of thing. Because
Because like they're even with the creators, like sometimes even the creators of said show, they'll get put on this pedestal and they can't do shit wrong or anything like that, even though they have like their own problems. Like um Oda, sure,
yeah,
he's a great storyboard guy, and everything like that. But like, or Oda's a warty little bastard, ain't he? Like, if you ever read One Piece, man, like some of the
some
stuff he be
chapters
putting in the freaking just one little bubble, that's like
it'd
10
be like a
pages.
paragraph. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, god damn.
yeah. I
and
mean, yeah. Go ahead.
and it's I don't want to hark on it for too much longer and all that stuff. Like fandoms, I feel like at the end of the day, fandoms can make and break a series for the most part.
That's
That's
true.
that's how I feel like a fandom can make or break a series, whether it's good or bad. They can make or break a series, at least
No,
for me
I
to
think
get into said thing.
I think that's fair, and I think as even if it's like you're a strong fan of something, right? Like, I mean, shit, I got Goku on my arm and whatnot.
I
I
got
can
Gohan
still
on my leg.
criticize the series, right? Like
Yeah.
to like be like, yeah, that is a flaw of the series. But some fandoms, MHA, One Piece, even Naruto, as soon as you criticize it, there's a million and one reasons about why you're wrong instead of no, it's an opinion that I feel about the series, but now I'm all types of dumb and ain't past the third grade or whatever. Like, like sometimes it makes it not want to interact with those fans. So I totally get what you're saying, Shin. It's like, why am I going to watch this? And as soon as I talk about it, I'm going to get berated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, the last topic right now is movies versus series. Does it really matter how long a story is? Can a movie be considered a top five, top 10 story versus like over a series that tells a great story as well?
G, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it is very much possible. Because what we've realized is, sometimes you get some series who have like 26 episodes, and by the time you get to the end of it, it's just nothing basically. Like you might say, for example, I mean, I haven't watched it yet, but for example, like people complain about Togadonki. Basically, it's probably had X amount of episodes, but has no substance. But then you have fantastic stories like one of my favorite movies, The Girl That Leapt Through Time. That's
This is why G is the best member of the association, man. This is why G is the best member of the association.
Hey, give a
Girl Left
round
Through
of
Time.
applause for that
It's my
one.
I
Give
favorite
love
it.
anime movie, man.
I love a little bit. I love that movie. Or you get a situation. I did not expect that one. Or or one of my favorite movies of all time. And even though people kind of look at me sideways when I say it, Whisper of the Heart. Um, I I love that. I love that. I love it completely. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's just a nice story that just fills me up, really well. But like I said, I think movies can compete, because sometimes they tell a really good story within a short period of time compared to series that get 26 episodes and tell you absolutely nothing. So yeah.
That's fair. What about you, Shan?
You're just asking me what is better, movies versus a series? Is that what you're asking me?
It's really does it depend on like? Don't get me
Or
wrong.
are
I
you
know
talking
this.
about how long it is? Like depending on like how long a series. Cause
Does
like,
it really matter? Like, can like
'cause
90 minutes compete with like 24
I
episodes?
because I think 90 minutes can compete with 24 episodes and then vice versa. Because like there's plenty of series or plenty of anime movies where um it's just it's condensed as itself, but like at the same time, you'd be like, man, I wish this was a show so we could get more about that character, like get a more fleshed out about this character, or find out about whatever they were alluding to in their back past. I think a series has more time to develop characters and everything like that versus a movie, which is kind of like a quick shot thing.
Yeah,
But
and that I guess that's really kind of what the like can it like when I'm saying like yeah when it competes with it is it on that type of level like
could you,
could
you
you put
get
could you put Scarlet in your top five over series that you feel like are just immaculate, right? Because I know you really like Scarlet. Could you move
Well,
something
that was
out
like
the way
anime,
to
and
put
I asked
Scarlet?
if we could do we do movies. But Scarlet is amazing. I mean, it is by one of my favorite directors, anime directors. Hosoda Momura is by, and yeah, sure. He also did. I might be biased. He also did Girl Who Left Through Time, but like it is what it is. But it's I mean I like his storytelling and everything like that, and it also seems like nowadays at least like his last like two films he's going into like the fairy tale thing, and he's twisting it. He's doing his own thing with it because like the one before Scarlet was Belle, and it was like a Cinderella, not Cinderella, it's Beauty and the Beast. It was Beauty and the Beast type spin on it that he did because Scarlet is Hamlet, and it's a different spin on
Oh,
that
okay.
set thing. So like I there are just some when you go down to like my top 10 anime of all time thing. If I didn't if I wasn't able to put that on, sure I would have kept it to series. But like anime in general, I mean it was an anime movie, for instance. But like that spoke to me. That was a really good, beautiful film. Like to the point where like I put that in my top three favorite Hosoda films of all time. But like there's what I was getting at beforehand though. Like there are some big series, like for instance, let's say My Hero, where I might have not seen the entire series itself, but I've seen all the movies, and I think the movies, even though the movies aren't quote unquote canon to the series, I feel like they also do a really good job to the series to complement the series
Yeah,
because like
they do.
they're their own thing. Go with
Yep.
the let's go with a series where they're movies per se, but there is still a series. The Masoda, not Masoda. The ones we were just talking about. A
You talking
third
about
movie is coming out.
Mononoke?
Yeah, the Mononoke. They
Yeah.
might not be an anime per se, even though that first series is an anime. It does have like episode. I think it's like 34 episodes or something like that. But it continued on with movies. Another one that I think people do sleep on. It is a cute girl do cute things, but Princess Principal. There is like 7 of those movies that continue on the series. The series only had like 24 episodes, but there's 7 more movies that they brought out. Even I would even go back to like our 90s kids, Digimon Adventures. They came out not with a new adventure series, but a series of movies.
Yeah.
There was like 4 or 5 that came out, and they told the story in movie format and everything like that. Even like before we was talking about Inuyasha, the Inuyasha movies. The 4 Inuyasha movies are really good compared to the series. And you
Yeah,
could
but
watch those
I
be
think like those, because those are more building off of something that's already there, right? So like at least those ones, like I think Mononoke is a good, even though it has like an older series that it's like Mononoke is like season 2 of a different series about yokai and stuff. If I'm
yeah.
not mistaken,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
But like yeah, like those 2 movies about to be 3. With that, like what? So is it really just all about like the emotional impact that you get from the movie? Like obviously we know a series has more time where they can flesh out a whole backstory more than 15 minutes or something like that. But so like can a movie convey it at the same level of a series?
Well, yeah, because like I'll give you an example. I give you 2 examples. You got Demon Slayer and Dragon Ball. Demon Slayer, it you got the Infinity Train. That arc was a very short arc. They gave it. Oh, we Chainsaw Man too. Chainsaw the Risa movie too. Like that. There's that. But Infinity Train was a very short arc in the manga, which could have been a movie, like which they did. But what did they also do in the series? They condensed it down to what, like 6, 7 episodes
Yeah.
of the movie. Um, they added a few things that wasn't in the movie into the show. Um, Dragon Ball. Battle of Gods. So that's like one of the biggest examples of Battle of Gods. Originally was the movie, and
Yeah.
originally, Dragon Ball, most people would have been, I would have perfectly been fine if they continued Dragon Ball with giving us a movie like every 2 or 3 years or something like that, instead of giving us Super or something like that. But we got Battle of Gods, and then we got Resurrection of Elf. And then what did they do in Super? They expanded those. And then you could what I could ask you, which one do you like the best? Do you like, because they did add stuff in the show versus the movie. But do you think the movie did it better, or do you think the show did it better? Same thing with Riza. I think Chainsaw Man, that Riza arc is very short, and the way they did it was, the movie is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even Chainsaw
I haven't
fan,
even
fan,
seen the movie.
but it was pretty good. But I also think Chainsaw Man, when it comes back, I think they're probably going to do the same thing like every other anime does. With that get to movie, they'll probably put it in for like 4 episodes or something, like add some stuff
Yeah.
and take some stuff out or whatever. But make it they making it more where you can learn more about said character. But like it's like one of those things. Like, do you like when they do a anime movie, they give it, it's in the continuity and everything to give it a movie, but then they turn around in the same anime and make it multiple episodes. They cut the movie up into multiple episodes.
I mean, so I'm more biased when you, because from keeping it with both examples, right? Demon Slayer I actually dropped because of that. I wasn't trying to watch it again, right? I had just watched Mugen Train, and then they did the first 8 episodes, and I just never picked it back up right after that. Dragon Ball, I do think that the movies did it better, only because of animation wise. But if you look at what they added in that made more sense as the story developed, like the series developed, then I would lean more. But if you're looking at just the isolated stories, I do think that the movies did it better than the actual series itself, right? But I think it's just more so art direction, animation time, and stuff like that. Because the story doesn't stray too much from the movie. Like I get what you're saying. I do. I get what you're saying, and yeah, I guess the length doesn't really matter as long as they do what they do with it, right? I know I just talked in a circle there for a second.
What about you, G? What about you, G?
uh, but yeah, so I
Oh,
know that was gonna be our last one, but oh my bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, yeah.
go
What
ahead.
no,
about
no,
you,
no, because
G?
I started the topic on this one when I was
Yeah,
still,
Yeah,
I
I
was
so
know,
still,
but like with the whole
yeah.
thing I had said about Dragon Ball, and you don't
Dragon
want to
Ball and
wait.
Demon
Oh
Slayer.
no, no,
You don't want
okay,
to
no, no,
weigh
no,
in on said
that,
thing.
yeah. Well, I think to be fair, it all depends because while they did Battle of Gods, and then obviously they did it some parts in the series, I feel like for me, what we got in Battle of Gods was sufficient. There wasn't a need for to do what they did with the anime within the anime, even the little bits that they added on there, because ultimately it didn't really change the experience for me. So which is why I kept coming back to which is why I come back to that statement I said, is like literally sometimes a movie, whether it's 90 minutes or a little bit less, sometimes it conveys way more than what can be conveyed in a series. um and I'll stay on and I'll stand on that hill. I think I
Well,
do. Yeah, go on.
because I now that I'm thinking about it, like it's just Dragon Ball Super movie specifically. Broly did a real good job at that first half, telling the story of Bardock and
Oh yeah,
arrogance and stuff like
the
that.
adaptation of Mayans, basically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They
Mm.
did a real good job at condensing that down because that was only like 30 minutes of it, but you felt every moment of it when it got
Yeah.
done with it. But I think that goes back to just art direction, with it because the direction that they went with it. But I mean, it still did what it did, right? But just a little quick one just to wrap it up. Do y'all think like openings even matter anymore? Like, do you think
Mm,
they can just
W-
jump straight into the show without the
You saying?
opening?
Oh, you talking about the theme, the
Yeah,
theme
yeah,
song?
like opening and endings and stuff.
Hell no, you can't do
no.
that. That's sacrilege.
I don't watch openings, man.
I
I
can't
watch an
tell you how
opening
many
one
times.
time.
I can't tell you how many times I watched this shit because of the opening.
Well, that's true. I mean, yeah, but also there's so many that I skip now. I think there are some that it's just unskippable. Like I watched all 100 and something episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho, and I listened to that theme every single time. I heard that shit in every single
Oh,
episode, even
Smiling
like
Bomb, Smiling Bomb was the same thing. It didn't get changed at once.
Nah, I
no,
think it was the same all the way through.
all the way through.
Wow, that's rare, especially
Dun,
for an
dun,
anime that
dun,
old
dun,
before.
dun, 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 dun,
How many
dun,
Yeah,
seasons
dun,
does
dun,
Yu Yu
dun.
Hakusho have?
It was one
it's not a
season.
season. It's just
Oh,
a straight run
One
through.
season, one season,
oh,
100 and
Yeah,
something
see, and that
episodes.
was going to be something that I bring up. Rook brought it up. I hate that they spoil some of the product because they do put spoilers in there. But I think it's only if you know it's a spoiler.
Yeah.
okay. My
Sometimes.
my thing about that, bro, I will fight you on that one. I get where he is coming from, but at the same time, they kind of, at least here in the past couple of years, because back in the day, yes, they just pull the fuck out of the series. They show you everything. They're gonna show you the middle. They're gonna show you an end. They're gonna show you how the rival die and everything in the opening and everything like that. But here recently, they've been just, it's more on the line of like making it like a, what, the TikTok, like making a TikTok trend or something like that. But like here recently, they haven't really been showing anything from the series. The only thing you really would get is like characters. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't get no plot points or anything like that.
No.
And that's what I think they are doing now. And then even Wastoria's opening. Now that shit that happened in the opening happens in the series. But that's a banger as of an opening of
You talking
Wistoria.
about season 2, the new one?
Yeah, season 2, yeah.
But see, so this isn't openings, but the trailer of Wistoria actually spoiled a shit ton of stuff.
Well, I don't. I think
But
the trailer was supposed to get people hyped too. Like that makes sense if the trailer
yeah,
put
but they
some
showed
things in there.
some big moments in
But
there.
it goes back to what you had said though. It's only if you know about it. I haven't seen the trailer, so I don't know what you're talking about. I don't watch like anime trailers,
Well, they
but I
put
do know the
the arc
series
they're in right now is that not the second one where they raid the city, but the first time they pop up, and you have the
in the
Brodsky
tower.
moment in the Worknor moment, right?
In the
They showed,
tower.
yeah, the
Oh,
after
they
they just sealed it up,
show.
the Terminalia shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they in the trailer they showed both moments in the trailer.
Oh, I don't know. It depends on how much they elaborate on, because I don't think that's a spoiler. Was it like a quick flash or something like that?
It wasn't. I mean, you could tell who it was and what happened. I'll say that
Oh,
you
okay,
could tell
okay,
who it was and what happened, type of ordeal.
okay. I would
Uh,
consider a big spoiler is who, not Will, but the other sword guy, the little dude who shows up.
and
Yeah, Finn. I would say a spoiler would be telling people who he is. That
oh
would be
yeah,
like a big spoiler.
yeah, because I just read those last like 4 chapters, and I was like, God, what the fuck is going
Yeah,
on?
yeah.
Yeah. Nah, it's getting. I mean, as far as the openings, like endings, I skip endings. I don't really care about the ending, but like I just be wanting to get straight to it. And that's what I liked about the art direction of like Mushoku Tensei and sometimes like ReZero and stuff. That they would the opening would be like a whole scene of something, right?
Yeah,
Like they would
yeah.
actually be doing something, showing something. I personally don't really care too much about openings anymore. I just want the story. Like that's all I want is the story. I can see why so like Mashal, bling boom boom bling boom. Like it's a fun thing, especially if you're watching it with like you know your kids or nieces, nephews or whatever. It's fun, right? But I don't know. Me personally, I skip openings. I might watch it one time, but other than that, I just skip it. I just want to see what the story is. I feel like because sometimes the opening and doesn't really match the theme of what's going on,
Oh,
right? Like
yeah.
sometimes you'll get like this like real mopey ass opening, but the series itself is like happy go lucky, and then the ending is like somebody dies, and it's like, yeah, we're all gonna party, and you're like, bro, what the hell? You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So I don't know. I openings I can go without, but I can see why some people would like them, right? Because some of the openings are bangers.
I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind them. I think some of the ones I forget. There's a couple of animes that I've watched where I think the opening pretty much lasts about 20 seconds also, and it just leads into the shit. I think I like that instead of having the minute and 25
Oh, where it's
seconds.
just like the title of the show that pops up type of thing, and then it keeps
Yeah,
going.
like it does a little boom, 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 dun, dun, boom, 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 but then the title comes up, and then
Oh,
it's
so
like
you just
straight
like
into it.
you just like the Cowboy Bebop opening. That's all you. That's
No,
exactly
I
what
was
you just
that was
said.
not supposed to. Well,
That's all you
The
just
Cowboy
said.
Bebop is not. The Cowboy Bebop opening is not 20 seconds. That's a whole minute and 25. That's
He
a
should
whole
know. He
thing.
has it on his phone every day. He wakes up to it. You know?
I do actually have the song, but but it's called Tank. Just for you guys to know, and it's called Tank.
This
But
guy here. This
yeah.
guy here. But yeah, nah. I mean, do y'all have anything else to add on any of the topics that we discussed?
No.
No.
Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna wrap it up here. Thank you, Rook and Striker Man, for chilling with us today. I don't think Striker's still here, but I know Rook is. Y'all support us a lot, and we appreciate that. We appreciate all of our supporters as well. And if you aren't subscribed to us now, why aren't you? I think you need to take a look in the mirror after you subscribe to us because you're just doing wrong things in life. But other than that, until next time, peace out.